Whatever the reason may be, man has been developing secret passageways or rooms since he began walking the earth. So today, we count down the top 4 hidden chambers and passageways. Number 4. Mount Saint Odile. Breathtakingly perched 2,500 feet high in the Vosges Mountains of France, the Mount Saint Odile Monastery dates back to the 7th century AD. Its library has for centuries housed many rare and ancient books, but in 2003 something peculiar began happening. Many of these books began to seemingly vanish. Since the room was soundly locked and off limits to the public, it was a complete mystery as to where these books were disappearing. After police were called in, they eventually found that a section of bookcase swung back to reveal a hidden passageway. With a security camera then set up, a local teacher, Stanislas Goss, was arrested soon thereafter. Apparently, he had stumbled upon a map to the secret passage in the city archives and decided to embark on his own adventure. In order to steal the books, he climbed over the exterior walls of the monastery, then accessed hidden stairways that snacked towards a centuries-old, long-forgotten medieval passageway which led directly to the swinging bookcase in the library. It is believed that the passage was originally built to allow senior monks to eavesdrop on the younger monks' conversations being held in the library. As for Goss, he commented that he stole the books because he felt they had been abandoned, and he also wanted a thrill. 1,000 of the monastery's books were found safely in his small apartment. Number 3. 21 Club. In Prohibition-era New York City in the 1920s, many speakeasies sprung up across the city to offer thirsty citizens illegal alcohol and good times. But one of them, the 21 Club, may have been the most clever of them all. The owners also owned the building next door and used this as a means to hide their vast liquor supply in its cellar. This secret storage room was concealed by an enormous door that was designed to appear as a simple cement wall. The door weighed a massive 2.5 tons and could only be opened by inserting an 18-inch length of wire into one of the various cracks in the cement. With some muscle, the door would swing open into the basement next door, which housed hundreds of bottles of booze. Thanks to this secret room and a system of levers used to tip shelves and drop bottles into the sewers below, neither the owners nor patrons were ever caught, even though the 21 Club was raided by police several times. During Prohibition, many celebrities and important political figures were known to imbibe in the secret cellar, including the mayor of New York City. Number 2. House of Horrors. On the picturesque British island of Jersey, in the English Channel, the disturbing secrets of Odile Children's Home were made public in 2008. After reports of abuse, rumors of exceedingly grim findings followed. An underground network of 4 underground chambers were unearthed after an extensive police investigation, and what was discovered inside of them shocked not only the island, but the whole world as well. There were reports of shackles, juvenile bones and teeth remains, and shallow baths with traces of blood. It was down in these subterranean rooms where the children of the home were punished. It was stated that such abuse and murder took place from the 1940s to the 1980s, with the bulk of it occurring in the 60s. From various interviews and research, it was determined that bad behavior was met with flogging, druggings, sexual assault, and solitary confinement in these terrible rooms. As if that wasn't enough, notorious serial sex attacker Edward Paisnell, also known as the Beast of Jersey, was also said to make visits to the Haut de la Garenne to carry out his nefarious crimes. The accounts of abuse and murder now make up a long list, since many victims have come forward years later. The only positive effect to result from these horrors is that the island of Jersey has now taken legal steps to ensure that atrocities like this never occur again, even though many of the initial horror stories have since been found to be exaggerations or completely untrue. Number 1. Mexican and US Drug Tunnel. Discovered in November of 2010, this elaborate passageway spans 2,200 feet long and is equipped with a small rail system, ventilation, and fluorescent lightings. It connects the kitchen of a home in Tijuana, Mexico, to 2 warehouses in an industrial district in San Diego, California. Believed to be the work of Mexico's Sinaloa drug cartel, which is headed by the country's most wanted drug lord, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the passage used to transport massive amounts of marijuana, cocaine, and meth into the United States. Located off the passage is a hidden staircase leading to a room 50 feet underground, which housed an enormous amount of marijuana. Overall, more than 20 tons of marijuana was seized by US and Mexican law enforcement. Many clandestine passages along the 2 countries' border have been found since the early 90s, but this recently uncovered one is by far the most complex and complete. So that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, make sure to tune in again tomorrow for another brand new episode.